Hello guys, it's me. So today we're gonna be reacting to this this little it actually happened. It's a cool channel where we can find out some cool stories. We're going to be. I'm a vegetarian and my family hates it. So let's let's just get started on it. Let's get started.
Hi, I'm Mary, and I am a vegetarian. It's not like it's the first thing I tell everyone I meet, but this is what my story is about. I've been a really conservative family, and food has always been a very important part of my family's life. Both of my parents, both of my grandparents, and almost every other relative I know love cooking. I'm not sure when it all began, but I've been told that my great-great-grandfather was a world-famous chef, or something like that. The only person in our family who's never liked cooking is my Aunt Annie, and everyone talks about it like there's something wrong with her. And of course, every meal has something to do with meat. Either it's bacon, or ham, or chicken, or steak. I mean, any kind, and any possible way to cook it. And I was okay with it for all.
Okay, so she's saying that she's a vegetarian and her family hates it. She was okay with meat, and only her aunt didn't like cooking, except all of her family liked cooking except for her aunt. And she was told that her great grandfather was a chef, a famous chef.
Of my
So yeah.
childhood. Because, well, I didn't know there was another way. It all started to change several months ago. At my school, I have a friend called Julia, and her parents are both vegetarians. She always had a choice either to eat or not to eat meat, and she made her choice to be vegetarian like her parents. Julia told me a lot of stuff about ethical treatment of animals and vegetarianism itself. I didn't think about these things at all when I was younger. I got really interested, and I started to go deeper into this subject by reading all I could find and watching documentaries. I was shocked and inspired at the same time. On one hand, I discovered a lot of terrible things that were happening to millions and millions of animals every day. And on the other hand, I saw there was something I could do to help. The something was giving up meat. I mean, I didn't even doubt. In a moment, I realised it was the right thing. So, from the very beginning, I knew there was no possible way to stop eating meat without my parents knowing. Gathering at the table for dinner every evening is never in question. I know keeping a thing like this secret sounds absurd, but you should know my family. What do you mean, give up meat? Was the first thing my mum said when I tried to talk to her. That was the moment I knew it would work out.
So she's saying her friend told her that meat is like animals. Animal eat meats. Animal are killed and they eat animals. Well, if you eat animals, you'll get the animals' energy into you. So she tried to explain to her mom, but as usual, her mom disagreed and said, "What? Why do you want to give up meat?" So let's see what happens next.
She interrupted my explanation and just didn't want to listen. She said that only meat contains proteins and vitamins that are necessary for every human, and especially for a teenager like me. But I didn't know what to answer. But I had science on my side. I'd spent the following night doing research on proteins, vitamins, and a healthy vegetarian diet. At 2 a.m., I was ready to write a book on why giving up meat when you're 14 is totally okay. The following morning, I overslept and skipped breakfast and spent the whole day at school going through my powerful monologue. I was going to choose a moment when I'd come back home and talk to my mum, because I didn't even hope for my dad or my grandparents to understand. But when I came home, I saw that my grandparents were there too. And the first question my grandma asked me was, "Did you really say you want to stop eating meat?" Sounding like I had lost my mind or something. I was so confused. First of all, at that moment, I thought that my mum called them because of our conversation, which was not true. And secondly, my whole plan to talk in private had fallen apart. Then my dad came home, and he also seemed to know everything. 5 of us sat down to have dinner, with all kinds of meat on the table, of course. I tried to eat something else and leave as quiet as possible, but all the eyes were on me. Now it sounds savage to me, but I knew I wouldn't be able to leave the table.
So she's saying that she went home and she found her grandfather looking at her strange and said, "Did you really say that you want to give up meat?" I like her little accent. I'll show you after. And and then her grandma said that, "Do you really want to give up meat?" And then they were like very angry at her. And then her dad came. They sat and only her, only her was the one who liked vegetables. Everyone else liked, plain little meat.
Without at least trying the meat. It was all pressure. So I cut a tiny piece. I put it in my mouth. And I realised that I just couldn't do this. I spat it out and started crying and ran to my room immediately. But things didn't really change that night. For a while, my parents would pretend they just didn't notice that I didn't eat any meat at dinner. But of course, I could see their disapproval. It was all quite hard for me, but going back was not an option for me anymore. What?
So she's saying she couldn't eat meat. After she found out that meat are made from animals, she couldn't eat it. So she spit the meat out, and then she went crying to her own room. Her parents were like acting that they didn't notice.
Once my mum saw me really sad in my room after dinner, and she sat down to talk. I think she realised it was really important for me. Now I see her attitude is changing. A couple of times she would even ask me stuff about a vegetarian diet.
Now her mom saw her crying in her room and went to her and understand her. And then she realized how important is it for her. And she also gave her a tips and a veggie recipe book.
I think she's getting more and more interested. And now we always have something for me at our table, like beans, for example. And my mum seems to be excited about the new recipes. Of course, my dad and my grandparents didn't change their opinion that fast. My grandma's giving me a hard time every time we meet with her lectures about how I'll lose all my health. But I'm trying to be patient with her. Someday she'll understand that I know what I'm doing, and it's just my choice. And did you make any choices your family didn't understand?
So, she's saying that her mom is really interested now, and they always have some vegetables for her. But her grandfather and her father didn't really give up her so fast. So anyways, guys, thank you for watching me for this video with me. If you enjoyed, give a like, please, on my channel, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye.